Hey, what's up, guys? The Dick Doctor is back, or the Dingaling King. Um, yeah, I have another interesting perspective. It's actually quite interesting how I can keep finding fresh takes on the same subject. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so I can continue to make $1 per month. This has changed my life tremendously. But anyway, how to know if your semen retention experience is working? Because who wants to do something just for the sake of doing it, just for bragging rights? That's a dumb question because there's a lot of people who like to do things for bragging rights, for bragging purposes. But for those of us who like to do things for utility purposes, I didn't even write down the list. I'm just going to speak from the soul on how to know if your semen retention experience is actually an experience and not just placebo. So, the first thing is that you'll probably feel stronger. It's just it's just something internal, and also it's something that could be very much tangible if you stay on routine. You stay on routine, you get in the habit of humping a little iron, doing some push-ups and sit-ups and stuff while you wait uh, for the food to be ready in the microwave or the oven, or you work out while you watch TV or the game, or while you're on the phone. You feel stronger. And me, my voice is I think it's pretty light for a man, but I know that there's more bravado that comes out. It's not forced, and also I don't care how light it sounds. Which is another big part of how your semen retention experience is working, is that you don't care as much because you're more secure, less insecure, so you don't really care about how you come off from an emotional standpoint, how you're being perceived. Like the other day I went to the bowling alley and I had a woman with me, and I was with my brothers and stuff, and she told me I wore some jeans and I didn't even think anything of it. Like I did when I put them on, but they were like that. They were like boot cut, and I don't really wear jeans like that. And most of my jeans are kind of thin, but these ones are boot cut, and I didn't think it was going to be a problem really. And so whatever, I wore them, and they looked even worse with bowling shoes on, like bell bottoms almost. And I'm bowling, and she says to me, she said, "You dress like you dress like Bill Gates." And I shook that off relatively fast. If I was insecure, then that would have thrown off my whole game. I probably would have went out to the car and started looking for some other jeans or something like that. Or like I said, I even said it to my brother. I said she said I'm dressed like I'm Bill Gates or whatever. And he was like, yeah, it's just you. He's like, not really. You just don't have cuffs in your pants. I wasn't making no effort to cuff my pants. I'm not gonna be affected by somebody else's words. I put those jeans on. I had a second to, I had all the time in the world to confirm if there was something else I wanted to wear, and I chose those. Uh, Probably won't be wearing those anymore unless I wear boots. But yeah, bro, stuck with it, and I just continue to keep bowling, bro. I don't like what. And I also said something in return. That's the thing. Hey, look. So women subconsciously or consciously will try to like fuck with you to see where your mentality is. If they get you acting all insecure or they get you being all snappy and you trying to match with them and shit like that, you lost. You lost the game. But if you're able to like brush it off or make a quick joke and go back to what you're doing or whatever, winner. Winner. Women are more attracted to men who they can't phase with shit like that. If they roast you, or where I'm from, we call it joning. If they joan on you, you know, knock that shit down, hit them with something slick, and then go back to what you were doing. And that's it. Those are some of the early signs that your semen retention experience is working. All right. Because it's all about holding your masculine frame. It's a lot easier to do when you have that reinforcements within you. I'm not saying that you got to practice semen retention to be in your masculine frame. No, 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 no. For some of us, it's I would say it's needed. For me, it's needed. I don't do things, like I said, I don't do things just to beat on my chest or make myself seem better than others or whatever. No. I do these things because it's so easy for me to feel comfort. You know, it don't take much. A full belly. I'm having sex. I could watch whatever I want. I could buy some clothes. My bills are paid. Whatever it is. That's it. So I have to do some type of depriving. It just so happens that depriving myself of ejaculating it's more than just depriving myself, but it's keeping something within myself, my life force. You know, keeping that sexual creative energy in me, keeping that patience in me. Which brings me to something else. A great sign that your semen retention experience is working is that and I just kind of spoke on it a little bit, is that you feel less of a need to prove yourself. You feel less of a need to speak. Now, I'm getting better. I'm probably better at doing this with women than I am with the guys. But even with the guys, I'm about to start speaking less than I need to. I don't, because I no longer really feel the need to fill in the quietness. They can stay quiet for all I care. I like that. You know, I already feel less need to explain myself or try to get somebody to see my point of view, unless it's just that type of discussion, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with with a little discussion, but I don't want to reveal too much about myself. It makes me feel empty. If I'm going to empty myself out, it's got to be into my art. It's got to be into something that's going to have some growth or something that is really of importance. You know, use my willpower, my mental fortitude for the sake of that. You dig? So, trying to think of something else. Let's talk about going against the grain. I think that's a sign that your semen retention experience is working. Is because in comparison to when you're constantly ejaculating, perhaps you're more relaxed, you're more lethargic, you're more lazy, whatever it may be. Compared to that, you may have more energy, more willpower, so you're probably more likely to go against the grain. Something I've been doing is I put on a 40-pound weight vest, and I go walk from here to my grandma's house and back, which my grandma's in the same neighborhood. It's not too far, but with 40 pounds on you, it's a nice little workout. Yesterday I put on the vest and I put on 15 pounds worth of ankle weights, so 7.5 on each leg, and tried that out. That was nice. A couple days ago, when it was nice outside, I went to the park and I walked all the way around the park 3 or 4 times, and I like that. I like how it makes me feel, you know. So, another sign, you have less tolerance for bullshit, and it shows. All right. You're willing to walk. You're more likely to walk away because you're on the semen retention experience. Experience for something greater, and you're not gonna put up with too much that gets in the way of your perspective. your priorities. You know, you're not gonna let anything get in the way of priorities. And I tell people, and I tell myself, there's always gonna be women. All right. And you got to be willing to let them walk. You know, like I said before, I can eat shit for the next 1, 3, 5 years, whatever it is. Keep my head down all that time while I just keep grinding or whatever it is. When I come up for air, women are still going to be there. I can't put my priorities on the back burner. Even more so is because I have a child, okay? I have to build a solid foundation before I ever think about chasing after somebody. And I will never chase after somebody. Which is another thing. You learn to put yourself on a pedestal. Again, it's not you saying that you're better than everybody else, but this is you putting the focus on yourself. A lot of people, they look externally. They put people on pedestals. They say, well, that's them. Obviously, they can do it. You know, they look at themselves as if they're losers or they're going nowhere, or if only, you know, I wish this could be me, or whatever it is. You practicing semen retention long enough, if it's really working for you, you take that finger and you point it right back at yourself. You put matters in your hands, in your own hands. You put the good shit in your brain. You don't waste your time with no foolishness. I got no judgment, so it's whatever you say is foolishness. That's what applies. Like for me, Super Bowl was a couple days ago. I ain't even watched that shit. I didn't want to. I didn't see the point. I didn't see the point of a prolonged football game, and I already knew who was going to win anyway. All right, I'll take the conspiracies out of it. I knew the Rams were going to win. I did, however, think that they would have won by a lot more, but it's okay. I just wasn't interested. And it's very much hard for me to be interested in a lot of things out there when I haven't solidified everything else going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll relax a little bit more and say, oh yeah, let me check out the game or whatever. When a lot more things are working in my favor, things are a little too close for my comfort. All right, and so yeah, certain things I just can't really justify. But let me just say, I think semen retention is a great tool to use if you want to build some belief within yourself. Because you're already showing yourself you can do something that most men aren't willing to do. And you do it over a prolonged period of time. That is empowering. You couple that with other methods that already increase your confidence, working out, setting a to-do list and accomplishing everything on your to-do list, speaking up for yourself, saying no, being honest, being blunt, knowing when to walk, knowing when to fight. You do those things is going to build you up, And then, of course, the self-talk that you have behind closed doors or in your head or whatever you say to yourself in the mirror, whatever's in your paradigm, all of those play a role. All right, so I want to actually go back a little bit and talk about insecurities. And as a man, you don't want to be the insecure one. You don't want to be the one always asking for things to validate you, or keep asking for, asking little passive aggressive type questions to make sure she ain't cheating, or you want, just things like that, or just asking too many questions in general. Because what's going to happen is women get a lot of men coming at them. And naturally, they're going to gravitate towards someone who's more sure of themselves, who showcases more confidence, who doesn't seem as needy, who seems to have more things figured out, who asks less questions. I'm big on asking questions. Keep that away from the women. Keep that to yourself, and you take it to your teachers, your own private studies, whatever it is. Keep the insecurity away from women. Women want to know that you have answers. All right. I don't know how fair or unfair that is. I don't really give a shit. It's what I found to be true. You don't want a woman you don't want the woman to be the one with all the answers. Not like women can't be smart and think. What I'm saying is, you don't want women to think for you, because not a lot of women gonna put up with that shit anyway. Not a lot of women who want to be in their feminine frame is going to take on a masculine role to answer all your fucking questions, to um, try to ease your insecurities. They don't like that shit because they already experienced insecurities and all these unanswered questions, all these questions based on emotions and shit like that. What makes you think they're gonna want to deal with that when it comes to you? They just go to a man who's, well, more of a man, who's more in this masculine frame. So, if you find yourself asking less questions to women and giving more answers, taking the lead more, you know, not really asking for permission and just doing things. I said not asking for permission. I didn't say anything about consent. Obviously, you have to have consent with all that you do when it comes to dealing with other people. You gotta have consent. I'm not talking about anything of the R word variety. But, not asking for permission to open the door for example. To, I don't know, take the trash, whatever it is, or to give her a gift, or whatever it is. Any bit of initiative that you believe that you can take, you don't ask to take that initiative, you just do it. All right? If you think, I don't know, the wall needs to be painted, then just paint the fucking wall and don't even ask. Just something like that. It's an example. I'm sure there are much more day-to-day examples that I'm just not going to think about on the fly, but you get it. When you're in that position where you start giving more orders, taking more initiative, taking more action, that's when you know your semen retention experience is working. All right. So I'm going to end it here. Maybe some more ideas will come to my mind, and I'll speak on it, but that's the gist of it. And I put out this video because I want you all to really have a great experience and always remember why you're doing this. So hopefully there's some use that comes out of this that keeps you on that path. And then you weigh what you're doing against what you could be doing. If you're ejaculating all the time, whatever it is, we're led to semen retention for a reason. And it's because the way we were handling things, it just wasn't working, obviously. All right. Like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep making $1 a month. Come on, man.